Hi guys, Norm with you again, and this is the case for the Toshiba laptop that I'm going to be fixing up. And I did put up a video asking if people wanted to see this, and there was really a less than 10% chance, less than 10% uptake on that. So I'll probably film sort of bits of this and what have you. But for this video, really, I just want to show the actual case of it and the actual size of it. I mean, it is huge. It must be at least sort of 8 kilograms or something like that. Okay, so here's the keyboard. Oh, that's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice sort of proper keyboard. Actually, it's really feels really nice. There's one key here which doesn't work. Everything else seems to work, apart from that one key, which is a little bit weird, but we may be able to clean that or sort it out. But the backspace key is actually over here on this key, so it may be kind of a keyboard mapping issue or something. I'm not entirely sure. There we can see the world famous Windows 95 logo above the Toshiba there. And ding 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 ding, Intel inside. Toshiba T2130CT. Yep, and the catch on the top here. Obviously the spring's gone from that, so it doesn't actually lock when you close it. But I mean, that's not a problem. That's not something I would worry about. Look, a microphone there by the looks of it, and a speaker down there. So we've got all the beeps and boops, and let's see, 2130CT. So look at this thing. Wow. Oh, that thing's heavy. Oh, my gosh. And the back, we've got the PS2 keyboard port there, or mouse, I suppose. The 9-pin serial port, 9-pin D-sub, VGA port there. And look at this, mains power input. There is no charger with this. You just plug it in the mains. Isn't that good? But yeah, so there's the docking port and the symbol for that. Yep, docking port, lovely. And then you see the mains input and the printer port there, which is the old ECP or parallel printer port. Gosh, USB does make things so much easier, doesn't it, these days? Okay, so here we got the power button and the lock there. You could get, was it called a Kensington lock? I'm not sure completely. It looks like there's maybe something here under this cover, but I have pulled that cover off and there really isn't anything under there. You see a crack on there and a crack on here. There's a few cracks on this laptop, which will need to be glued, which I'll do in one of the videos probably. But this is the bit that I like. You see this cover? And you pull this down and there's your PCM CIA card slots. And we've got what is this? Zerocom credit card Ethernet and modem, which is handy because we've also got, what comes with that is we've got the Zerocom plug-in bit for that, so that obviously plugs in to there, nice. And then this end obviously plugs in your phone line for your dial-up 56k modem. Well, it wouldn't have been 56k back then, would it? It would have been 9.6 or something. Ridiculously slow. But yeah, but I like this because I mean you got the slot there that you can go to, slot one or slot two, so you can plug into those things, or you can have slot three and just pull everything, access to everything. So I mean you wouldn't see that today. They wouldn't make it like that today, would they? Today you would just have the one cover and it would be everything or nothing. But back then, they put some thought into it. So if you want slot one, there is slot one. You know, want slot two, there is slot two. Access. That is bloody brilliant. I like that. You know, somebody's actually thought about it, haven't they? Like these days, things are built to a price. Whereas, somebody's obviously put some thought into that. So that's good. And then around to the front, you can see, well, we've got the power light and the battery charging light there. So a reset button there. You'd have to push something in there to get that. And then what looks like two little tabs at the front. Now, what are they for, do you wonder? Well, that's another excellent feature of this laptop. And yes, it's really, I mean, it would be good to do this on the bench, but the bench is obviously not clear. And so, what have we got there? Oh, it's obviously from like one of the previous owners or something. And if you pull that out, there's another one underneath. Yeah, so that's interesting. So this looks like it was in use up to the year 2000. I dare say it was probably modified a bit. Certainly, it's got a 500 megabyte hard drive in it, and I don't think it would have had 500 megabytes from new in 95, but who knows? And thankfully, the hard drive is still working. Yeah, so these two clips on the front, and then we pull that, and we pull that, and yep, that flips up, and we get the battery. And if you see the battery, 12-volt nickel metal hydride battery. It's not a lithium battery. Huh. Obviously, this has been replaced, but this is Earth Electronics, cells made in Japan. And this battery has already been took apart because I have put in these battery holders, so it'll use standard sort of NIMH cells. I did initially, I built it with, I had some 1000 milliamp hour NIMH cells, and that just proof of concept made it work. And I thought maybe that would be okay, it would last like 10 minutes or something, but it literally lasted like 30 seconds and they was completely drained again. So, whether there is actually something wrong with the laptop and it's draining too much, drawing too much current, not completely sure, something has to be checked out. But yeah, we can see the mouse pad or the mouse buttons there. Obviously, you've got a little point and stick thing. So I never really did like these point and stick things, but yeah. And then the hard drive is just under here. I'm not completely sure how to get into that. Oh, there's a screw there, I see. And is that a screw over the other side there? No. Well, maybe. But thankfully, the hard drive is working because I always worry because I've got a friend who runs a computer shop here locally, and I was sort of talking to him about this little laptop and saying that I think the hard drive might be bad. And he said, well, where are you going to find another hard drive for that? It's going to be, an old IDE hard drive, and you're not going to be able to get one. And I was thinking, oh shit, probably not. But thankfully, it was just that the CMOS battery was bad and the hard drive wasn't set correctly. So I have managed to reset the hard drive and I have managed to now get it, get the hard drive systemized. So it will now boot to drive C. There's nothing on it yet. Um, I've had to order a load of floppy disks so I can put Windows 95 on this thing. Because I didn't think about it, but there is no USB ports on it, so I can't use like a USB CD-ROM or anything, and there is no infrared on it, so I can't use that either. So really, all I can use is floppy disks for the thing at the moment. And once I get it into Windows of some description, then I can use maybe Ethernet and drag things off my network drive, and it'll be lovely. But of course, in DOS, I mean, there probably is a way in DOS to get it to connect to the network, but that's like beyond my feeble capabilities. And like trying to remember the DOS commands and everything is also quite awkward. But yeah, so getting back to it. So the first thing I've got to do with this is very, very important, and that is to pull out the main supply, pull out the power supply from inside, and check/change all the capacitors on it to um, make sure it doesn't kind of blow up. I mean, it is working at the moment, and I have, say, plugged it in and you know got it to the C drive and everything, made sure the hard drive was okay. Um, but yeah, so the first job will be actually to pull out that power supply and sort of change all the electrolytic capacitors and check it over. Um, and at the same time, probably while the bottom is off, we will sort of tackle these big cracks. I have got some plastic glue, and so we'll get around to that. But as I say, so yeah, so the first job is to, um, another crack there, look, it's not so good. Somebody's done that screw a bit too tight and cracked it. Yes. Um, but yeah, all in all, this old laptop is not looking too bad, really. Apart from, as I say, the huge cracks in the bottom here. Um, but a bit of glue, a bit of um, milliput or something, and we can fill these holes and what have you. Um, as you can see, there is a screw missing from that hole, and a screw missing from over here as well. And so it looks like somebody's probably been in this before. So maybe the power supply's already been done. I don't know. But obviously four bolts there. They seem to be holding the hard drive in, I would imagine. Um, yeah, so let's have a look at this data plate now. I will cover up the serial number just in case of anything. But yeah, interesting. 2130CT /520. Model number PA1198E XY or YX. So it doesn't help when you're a little bit dyslexic doing this thing. 0918. But yeah, so that's very interesting. Multi-voltage there, 115 to 240. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'll probably won't film myself opening this all up, but when I get the power supply out, or if I've uncovered the serial number, but it doesn't matter, nobody's going to say this has been stolen or whatever. So it's so ancient. But yeah, so in the next video about this, I will obviously be, sorry, that's me playing with this bloody, that's brilliant, and I love that. You know, somebody's thought about that, and it's great. You can have them both down, or each one down separately. You know, the fact you can take them each one down separately, or just take both down, or just have the whole thing. I bloody love that. That is good design. Whoever designed that, if you're watching this video, that was bloody brilliant. So, Toshiba designer, +1 for that one. That's bloody brilliant. Though, well, mind you, they do say small things move small minds, don't they? But yeah, so there you go. Anyway, so that's the initial look at this, what is it, Toshiba. And yeah, so in the next video about this, we'll be having a look at the power supply. As long as I can get the bloody thing out and it isn't too hard, should be good. Okay, guys, well, that's your first look at this thing. Thanks for watching and cheers for now.